Okay, so we're talking about the lawsuit against real estate broker commission, how this affects buyers, how this affects agents, how this affects mortgage lenders, and why we need to know about this. So today, the most important topic probably making waves in real estate is this litigation regarding the broker commission for real estate agents.
A federal jury in Missouri on Tuesday found that the National Association of Realtors liable for artificially inflating commissions and awarded plaintiffs $1.8 billion in damages.
I think that this is going to drastically lower what commission rates are.
It doesn't sound like that radical of a concept. You pay for the person who's working for you.
Although the seller may have some financial relief, the buyer is now the one that's going to absorb the cost for the buyer's fees. That's a huge shift in the industry.
We're going to be talking about the real estate broker commission and how this change could impact buyers, real estate agents, and mortgage lending. Make sure to stay tuned until the very end because we're going to give a comprehensive breakdown and kind of tell you what to look out for and what to do as things start to change from our perspective. So first off, let's understand what this lawsuit is. Essentially, the lawsuit is against real estate broker commission. The lawsuit aims to change the way real estate agents are compensated. Potentially transitioning from the traditional percentage-based commission model to a more consumer-friendly approach. Well, that's what they say. They say it's a more consumer-friendly approach, but not for the buyer. The implications of this change are vast and could significantly affect home buyers, could affect real estate agents, and yes, could also affect mortgage lending. That's us. Now let's discuss how this lawsuit might affect buyers and buyers agents. With the current commission structure, buyer's agents are typically compensated through the commission offered by the seller's agent. However, in this lawsuit, the commission is shifted in a way. It could impact the way buyer's agents are compensated because they won't be compensated by the seller. Buyers would essentially need to pay their agent directly or would not have representation on the purchase of their home, the number one largest asset that they probably buy in their entire life, buying it without representation or having to pay directly for the representation.
They're not going to have any representation unless they hire a lawyer to look over the contract, but that lawyer's not going to show them the house, give them expertise, help them through comps, make sure they're getting the best deal on price. The lawyer doesn't do that. But you're still going to have to pay that lawyer out of their pocket. This
shift could raise questions about the value of buyers' agents and the services they've provided. Yeah, it has. It's brought about lots of questions. If you're in the industry, such as myself, you know the value of a buyer's agent. But apparently there's the jury and the jurors that were involved in this litigation have no clue what a buyer's agent does. So
the jury basically came out and said that we find, based on all the evidence, that the defendants partook in together a conspiracy to inflate commissions. The jury went back and deliberated and came back with a verdict. It was 2.5 hours is the only amount of time that they took.
So how does this relate to mortgage lending? A change in real estate transaction is going to lead to a change in mortgage lending. It's going to have a ripple effect, in essence. A few potential implications are mortgage costs. Buyers who have to pay more directly for buyer's agent services might have less money to pay towards their down payment and their mortgage closing costs. So this, in effect, could impact their mortgage approval and the cost of obtaining a mortgage. Mortgage rates. A shift in the real estate market dynamics, including how commissions are structured, could affect supply and demand. This, in turn, could influence mortgage rates. So, preparing for the future. It's essential for home buyers, agents, and mortgage lenders to stay informed about the developments in this lawsuit. And so this is a national thing. I know the lawsuit is for, I think, a couple of states, but what it does is it sets a precedent, and that's the concern, because what will happen is they're going to go now to all these other states and try to do the same thing. I think where we're at right now is the jury is out and the commission is, the buyer's agent commission is, so the seller is no longer to pay the buyer's agent commission. Now, is that going to change everything right now? We're in the fourth quarter of 2023. So are we expecting to see this kick off in 2024? No, we're not. Are the contracts already set up in such a way so that the buyer could pay directly the buyer's agent? Yes, they've actually been like that all year long. So this isn't new, but what you'll find is that when a seller sells their home, they list their home, they want to have buyers coming to see their home. So they need to pay a buyer's agent to bring those buyers to see their home. So it makes sense for them to include a buyer's agent commission. Now, a seller could say, you know what, I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay a buyer's agent commission. And they don't have to. Will this mean that their house might have less buyers coming to look at the house? Yeah, it could potentially mean that. So is that going to be a good idea for the person selling their home? I don't know. It's to be determined. Right now, though, the jury is in. That's the change is supposed to be made, but it's going to be appealed. It's going to be appealed. And in my opinion, it's going to be reviewed by judges, and the appellate court isn't a jury. It's the judges that are going to be reviewing. And I would say most of them have experience in buying and selling homes. And they probably understand that there's value in the buyer's agent just as well as there's value in the listing agent. And that the way that the system is set up right now works very well. I know one example of a lady that was included in the lawsuit. The lady had mentioned that, she's trying to make a change because her children are becoming of age to buy their first homes. And so she wanted to, do this so that they're not being ripped off or whatever. And so her experience in this is that she has in her lifetime bought and sold homes. She's, I think, bought 5 homes and sold 4 homes. If you know anything about the way that the buyer's agent commission works, you would understand that she is one up on the game. She's sold 4 homes and paid a listing agent and then also the buyer's agent, but she's bought 5 homes where she hasn't paid the buyer's agent. So she's one up, right? The weird thing is what she thinks is going to be helping her children that are of age to buy a home is absolutely doing the opposite. If you don't like the way that the current commission structure is set up, then this changing the model and having a buyer pay the buyer's agent directly is not going to help your children that are going to be buying homes. Now they're either going to be buying a home without real estate agent representation, or they're going to be paying out of their pocket for the representation, which normally would go towards the down payment or the closing costs or the rate buy down, which is really what's needed right now with rates as high as they are. You imagine instead of being able to do the rate buy downs that we're offering to our clients, we would have to say you have to use those funds to pay your buyer's agent. I mean, it's ridiculous. So this is kind of ludicrous for anyone that understands the buyer's brokers, the agency relationship. And if you don't understand, so when a listing agent signs a contract to get 5.5 or 6% in real estate commission, they're not getting that. They're splitting that in almost all cases with the buyer's agent. So if it's 6% in total commissions and they're getting 3 and paying 3 to the buyer's agent, and that's probably the most common method, that's not crazy to have something structured that way, especially when you think 3% commission, 1% goes to Uncle Sam, 2%, the other 1% goes to your broker, and then you keep 1%. Then the 3% goes to the buyer's agent. They're doing the same thing. 1% goes to Uncle Sam, 1% goes to their broker, and then 1% they keep. So the agents are making 1% to represent the buyer and the seller. That's the current structure. That's the current model. So it's not crazy that it's structured this way. Now, the replacement is, and what's going on behind the scenes is the iBuyer model, which is everything is online. You can look at the home online, right? And you can put a bid through the virtual agent of sort and hopefully get your offer accepted. I believe this is probably where we're headed with this. And I mean, we're talking about buying a home though. So for those that don't want to go walk through the home and actually deal directly with a real estate agent that knows the area and can help you navigate submitting an offer and getting the offer accepted, and then all of the issues that come up throughout the process of buying your home. God, there's just so many things. It's crazy to think that a buyer's agent wouldn't be used for the purchase of a home. So I guess we'll see. To be continued, but just wanted to share with you some of the updates on the real estate agent commission lawsuit and how that's going to affect buyers, real estate agents, and mortgage lenders. And we'll give you more information on the next one. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more information related to home purchase, real estate purchase, investments, and real estate lending. All right, take care.